Hello students, welcome back to your computer class. I hope you all are fit and fine at home. Okay, so let's start. So today I'm going to start third chapter of your book, and chapter name is Types of Software. Okay, in chapter 1 and 2 we have already discussed about the hardware. Okay, so in this chapter we will cover what is software and types of software. Okay, as we all knows that for proper functioning a computer system requires both software and hardware. Okay, so what is hardware? Hardware represents the physical and tangible components of a computer. We have already discussed in detail in chapter 2. Means the parts that you can see or touch are called hardware, like CPU, hard disk, all the output devices. And what is software? See, behind the working of each and every hardware there is a software. Okay, as we all knows that the computer system, it follows the IPO cycle, input, process and output cycle. So input is done using input devices, output is done using output devices, and the process part, so behind the process parts different types of softwares are there which makes the process happen. Okay, so we can define a software as a set of instructions or as a set of programs which are used to perform different tasks. Okay, this is the one definition. In other words, we can define software like, see, I have mentioned here also, software represents the set of programs that govern the operation of a computer system and make the hardware run. Okay, so this is about what is software. Now come to the types of software. Basically there are two types of software. First is system software and second is application software. Okay, so what is the difference between system software and application software? See, the system software refers to the programs or set of programs which controls the internal computer operations. Means a kind of software in which such type of programs are installed which are used to control the internal operation of computer system. Those softwares are called system software, as the name indicating, system software, which are used for system purpose. Okay, and second is application software. What are application softwares? Application softwares are those softwares which are specially designed for any particular task, for performing any particular application. So those softwares are called application software. Okay, these two softwares can also be further categorized, like, see in this figure. Application software, a set of programs necessary to carry out operations for a specified application. Okay, so this is another definition of application software. Application software can further be divided into two types: packages and customized softwares. So what are packages? Means packages, as the name indicating, means package which contains many softwares in it. Means like MS Office. In MS Office suite, we all used MS Office by default. So in MS Office you can find MS Word, you can find MS Excel, you can find MS Access also. So it's a kind of a suite. So these type of software which contains other software inside it are called packages. And customized softwares are tailor-made softwares according to a user's need. In this category we can understand, like, see, I'm giving you an example. Like, see, there is any firm, okay, which need a software for maintaining the records of employees. So for that purpose they need a software. So that software will particularly be designed for that firm only. So these types of softwares are called customized software, which are designed to fulfill anyone's requirement. Okay, now come to system software types. System softwares can be categorized into four parts. First is operating system, second is language processors, third is device drivers, and fourth is utilities. So in short, you can see the definitions here. Operating system, it acts as an interface between the user and the hardware. And language processor, it converts our program into machine language. Device drivers provides interface between operating system and hardware. And utilities perform housekeeping functions like virus removal. So these all are the definitions in short. Now one by one we will discuss about all the types of softwares. Okay, so let's come to system softwares first. In system software, first is operating system. Definition I have told you already. Means system software refers to the programs that controls internal computer operations and make the best use of the hardware. These types of softwares are called system software. So first is operating system, second is language processor, third is utilities. Okay, one is missing here, and which is device driver, but I will explain that also. Okay, so now understand about operating system first. Okay, so before explaining about operating system, answer me. Suppose if you have a laptop, okay, and you have not installed Windows in your laptop, so can you use that laptop? You will be use that laptop. Can you use it? No, you cannot. Suppose if you have a PC, you have a desktop computer, and you have not installed Windows. Okay, so can you use that system? No, we all cannot, because we will find a blank monitor there. So for using hardware, means because monitor, CPU is also a kind of hardware, na? So for using that hardware, for using the computer machine, we need an interface using which we can communicate to that hardware, using which we can access those hardwares. So there we need an operating system. So what is an operating system? An operating system is a program which acts as an interface between the user and hardware, and it's a system software. Okay, see in this diagram you can see computer hardware. Here all the hardware devices come, like our monitor, input output devices, everything. And then operating system is between the application programs and computer hardware and user 1 2 3. Suppose you are the user, okay, and what you have done, suppose you are typing something from the keyboard. Okay, so where you will type? Using keyboard, where you will type? For that you need a platform, or you need any software on which you will type. Like either you will type on Notepad or WordPad or MS Word. So what all these are? These all are application programs. These all are application softwares. So using any application software, we will be interacting with the hardware. Okay, using keyboard you will type anything on, suppose you are typing on MS Word. So using keyboard you are typing, and MS Word is application program there, and operating system who is controlling, means you are typing anything from keyboard. So who is giving the interface, who is providing the interface between that keyboard and you? It is an operating system. Okay, any instructions that you send using keyboard, so where to send that operation, what to do with that, these all are the responsibility of an operating system. Okay, so I hope it's clear to you now. Now you can also understand an operating system by this example. See, in your book also this example is given, where one boss is there and one secretary is there. So an operating system is like a secretary and you are like a boss. So you just gave instruction to your secretary that do this for me, like fix a meeting with someone, or do this copy for me, delete this and type a letter, or do this or that, or do this or that. Okay, so suppose you told the secretary to make a copy of any document. So now this is the duty of secretary, that how to do that job. Okay, how to perform copy. So check whether the specified file exists or not, means you are saying that copy that file, so that file actually exists, where it is, what is the location of that file, and each and everything related to the task that you have given. So how to do and when to do, these all are the responsibilities of the secretary. So like the secretary, the operating system works too, means you just give the instruction and then how to execute the instruction, how to fulfill your command, how to give you an output. This is the responsibility of an operating system. Each and everything related to your task is maintained by the operating system. Okay, now come to next type, language processors. Is another kind of system software. So let's have a look at this example first. Here you can see that in center one person is there, one is there, and one is there. So let me introduce this person. His name is Xavier D'Souza. He knows English only, he don't know French. Okay, and this man, he knows French only. Okay, now they both want to communicate. He knows English only and he knows French only, and they want to communicate. So is it possible? Whatever he will speak in English, he will not be able to understand and he cannot reply, and whatever he will say in English, in French, so this man will not be able to understand or reply. So here is a third person. Okay, and he knows English and French both, and he is the intermediate between these two. He is the interpreter. So the task of this man is, whenever this man will say anything in French, so this man will convert that French language into English, so this man will be able to understand. And when he replied in English, so again this interpreter, he will change that English answer into French, and this person will able to understand. So similarly, in our computer system, whenever you give command using computer, you all knows that computer system understand only binary language. Do we give command using binary? No, we do not. We give the command in our, means either in English or in any programming language, but not in binary language. So how the computer system understand that language? Here comes the role of language processor. These language processors convert this language, means our language, into machine language, in the language that a machine can understand, means in binary language. So language processors are the translator programs which are used to change the high level language into machine language. Okay, there are three types of language processors. First is assembler, second is interpreter, and third is compiler. So I am telling about all these three. First, assembler. What is assembler? So for that you need to understand that right now we uses different kinds of programming language like C, C++, Java, Advanced Java, Python, and Scratch, and many languages are there. Okay, right now, like, we uses the languages which are not in the form of machine understandable form. But before, when the language development was started, when the programming was started, so at that time the assembly language was introduced. So programs were written in the assembly language. Okay, so what happened that time, that the programmers uses some codes, and those codes were called mnemonic codes. So those codes, using those codes, programming was done at that time. So to convert that assembly language into binary language, these assemblers are used. Means assemblers are used to translate or to convert the assembly language into binary language or machine language. Okay, now come to interpreter. What are interpreter? Interpreters are the language translator programs which are used to convert the high level language. Means high level language means here we are talking about the programming languages that we are using nowadays, that we are using from like C, C++, Java, .NET, VB.NET, ASP.NET, many languages are there. Okay, so interpreters converts the high level language into machine language, but the interpreters are very slow translators. Suppose you have make a program and your program consists 10 lines. Okay, you have 10 lines program, and suppose there is an error in your first line. So what the interpreter do? It will give, as you will run your program, so it will give, suppose if there is any error in first line, so it will stop there, it will execute that first line only. If there is any error, so this program will stop there and it will give you error that there is an error in your program, and unless until you will not sort out that error, until you will not fix that problem, so it will not move ahead in your program, it will not execute your program. Okay, now come to compiler. See, I explained you about interpreter in detail because the work of interpreter and compiler is same. Like interpreter is used to convert high level language into machine language, similarly a compiler is used to convert the high level language into machine language. But the difference is that interpreter execute the programs line by line, but the compiler compiles the program at one go. Means it compiles the whole program in one attempt. So if there is 10 line program is there, so it will compile all the 10 lines and it will give you the list of errors. If there is any error in your program, so it will give you the list of those errors, so you can fix those errors, you can sort those errors. Okay, so this is about 3 types of language translator or language interpreter processors. Okay, now come to next type of system software, which is utility softwares. What is the work of utility software? Utility softwares are those programs which are used for performing housekeeping function like backing up the disk or scanning or cleaning viruses, etc. So like managing your computer, okay, so that you can utilize it more effectively. So this is the task of utility softwares. Suppose if there is any bug in your system, bug means if there is any virus or any hello. Okay, so the utility softwares are those programs that assist the computer by performing housekeeping function like backing up disk or scanning it, cleaning viruses, etc. And these are the types of utility softwares. So you can understand the utility softwares are those programs which ensure the smooth functioning of the computer system. And how our system can function smoothly? Like if the memory management is proper, if your system is free of viruses, if your antivirus is working properly, if data stored in your system is safe and secure, only then your system will perform smoothly. So taking care of all these activities means your system is free from viruses, your data is safe, your files are stored well, the memory management is proper, means memory management means here we are talking about the file management. Okay, your file management is proper. So this is the task of utility softwares. Basically these programs are designed for the smooth functioning of your system, so that your system so that they can assist your system for proper functioning. Okay, some types of utility programs are: first is the disk, folder and file management software. Means, like, see, file management software. Okay, here I want to give you an example of your self where you organize your clothes. Okay, suppose if you have kept all the clothes, your uniform and your daily wears and your party wears in a single shelf, so it will create the mess of your clothes. You will not be able to find your clothes properly, है ना. So the proper way is to keep your clothes separately. Means uniform one place, there should be a proper place for each type of cloth. Means daily wear in a separate place, party wears separate place, and school uniforms and other separate place. So in the same manner, in the computer system, files are organized in a very proper way so that you can easily access your files. Means you can easily access, you can easily modify your files. So this is the task of file management software. By default, the file management software called Windows Explorer, okay, it is installed in our system, and this Windows Explorer program, it arrange our files, our folders in a proper way in a disk. Okay, next is antivirus software. I hope you all knows about antivirus softwares. Yes, these softwares are used for protecting our system from viruses. Basically, if you are using internet, if you are inserting any pen drive or any removable disk in your system, so virus can come from any secondary media. So for protecting our system from viruses, antivirus softwares are used. It's also a kind of utility software. Some very popular names of antivirus softwares are McAfee antivirus and Norton antivirus, Quick Heal. These are all the types of antivirus software. Now come to the last one, encryption and decryption softwares. This term is new for you. What is the meaning of encryption and decryption? You need to understand that first. See, these softwares are used basically, especially when you are accessing internet. Okay, so understand about encryption first. What is the meaning of encryption? See, whenever you give any command or whenever you send any data on internet, so for protecting your data is converted into another format. Okay, you can understand it by encoding and decoding also. Like suppose like we can use some codes. Like it happens ना कि when you want to send any message secretly, किसी को पता नहीं चले. Okay, so what we do, we make the codes. Like if you want to say send 1 2 3, so instead of 1 2 3 you can send A B C. A represent 1, B represent 2 and C represent 3. So in same way, means for protecting your data, the form of your data is changed. Okay, so encryption refers to the conversion of electronic data into another form. Is called encryption. And when your data encrypted, it becomes ciphertext. Okay, so it cannot be easily understood by anyone. Means it happens now over internet when you are sending any important information to others. So you know about hacking. Means data hack हो गया, hacking हो गया, ये सब. तो what happens कि the data travels, electronic data is hacked. So if your data will travel in the original form, so easily the hackers can understand and they can get the information. But if the form will be changed, if your data will travel in the different form, so anyhow if someone will hack that, so he will not be able to understand ki what you are sending, what is the meaning of that particular information. So For that purpose data is encrypted or the form of data is changed. Okay, and for changing the form of data, different types of algorithms are used for that. Okay, so different type of course for encryption and decryption. Okay, but we are not going to discuss about that course especially. Okay, so this is the encryption, means changing the form of your data, and again converting your data in original form is called decryption, so that the receiver party to whom you are sending information, so he can understand your recognize your data, he can understand what you have sent. So again your data is converted into original form, means that ciphertext is converted into original form, so that is called decryption. Okay, so for encryption and decryption, different types of algorithms are used, different types of softwares are used for protecting your data from unauthorized access. Okay, so it's all about the system software. In the next video we will talk about application softwares. Okay, so that's all for today. Take care. Bye.